Okay, this is how a capacitor works. Okay, it's a metal plate and put it very close, and then there are two wires connect to these two metal plate. So at this time, there's no electron or proton on these two metal plate. And then we wire one end to the positive side of our battery, and then the other end to the negative side. So now after this kind of connection, the electron will go to this bottom metal plate, and proton will go to the upper metal plate. Okay. Now after this connection, we suddenly remove the battery. Now in the bottom plate, we will contain many electrons, and the upper plate will contain proton. Now, this kind of state we call it charge, or we can call it arc. Okay, and this state we can call it discharge, or we call it off. Okay, because this kind of state is kind of saving the energy between these two metal plates. Then we connect these two wire to a bolt. Okay, to a light bulb. Now the light bulb will light up. Okay, and then the electron will go through this light bulb and come back here and neutralize proton. So this light bulb will light for just a short period of time. After that, this light bulb the light is turned off again. Now after you turn off, these two metal plates become discharged again. Okay, or off again. Now, based on the status of these two metal plates, we can represent two states of these two metal plates. When these two metal plates have an electron or proton, we can call it on, and if there's no electron or proton, we can call it off. Okay, so we have a two state by using two metal or okay, or we call it a capacitor. Now in memory organization of computer, basically we can divide into two kind of memory. One we so-called main memory, okay, and the other kind, the second kind, we call it secondary storage. Okay, memory is referred to what we commonly call RAM. Its full name is random access memory. Okay, why I call it random is because we can specify the location we're going to save data or going to read data, and as long as you have an address, you can go to the memory location to do what you want, to save or to read, to write or to read. Okay, its speed in terms of the access speed. Okay, I mean how long it takes to get the data from random access memory. The time is relatively short. Okay, it's very quick. Now, the secondary storage is we commonly refer to so-called hard disk drive. okay, or HDD for short. HDD is a mechanical device. Okay, you can say huge amount of data. We will have a picture of HDD later. But because HDD has a disadvantage of slow speed, its speed is kind of slow. So new technology called solid state drive, which is using semiconductor technology to build an IC chip, an integrated circuit that can store information in IC chip or IC device. And we call this as a flash memory, okay, in flash memory. And the advantage of a solid state drive or SSD is speed, just like a random access memory. It's a electronic device, so you can access the memory location very quick. It's unlike HDD, which is a mechanical device. It has to spin the memory disk, so and the SS head. So the speed is, to get the data, it takes a much long time than an IC chip. Okay. Now, typically, we call a manageable unit of memory called cells. Okay, because when we access the memory from random memory or from hard disk, each time we go to access one bit, which is too small and too inefficient. Okay, it takes too much effort to take just one bit. So each time we go into access to read or to write, we're using a basic unit called cells. And typically, a cells contain 8 bit, okay? Contain 8 bit, which means we write 8 bit as a unit. Each time we write information, we have to write at least 8 bit at a time. Or we read data from either main memory or secondary storage, we get at least 8 bit a time. Okay, no 1 bit, which is too inefficient. Okay, now this is an example of 1 byte. Okay, normally a group of 8 bit, we call it 1 byte. Okay, and this 8 bit is put in a sequence. Okay, different sequence will represent different kind of information. Now, as we just say, two metal plate. Okay, it one contain a proton, one contain electron. Then we call this state is charge or on. Or we can use it 1 to represent this kind of state. If there is no electron or proton on this two plate, we call discharge, or we use 0 to represent this kind of state. So this here we have a capacitor, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a capacitor, and we put it in sequence. And one capacitor is either charge or discharge. So this kind of sequence of plate, this kind of charge or discharge, we call a sequence of bit. Okay, a sequence of bit. And it represents, in this figure, in this example, it represents 10100100. Okay? And it is 8-bit information. Okay? We got the 8-bit information here. Or we can call it 1 byte information here. Okay? Now, internal measurement of the size of memory. We know 2 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. 2 to the power of 1 is equal to 2. 2 to the power of 2 is equal to 4. 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 8. And so on. Normally, what does it mean? 2 to the power of 10. Okay? It means 2 times 2 times 2 times and so on. Okay? How many 2 we got here? We got 10 2 here. So it represents 2 to the power of 10. And 2 to the power of 10 is how many? Is 1024 bytes. Okay? Which means around 1000. And therefore, we call it 1 kilobyte. Okay? And the approximate number is just 1000. Okay? And 2 to the power of 20, which is 20-bit number, and is 1024856 bytes. Okay? And we call this number, okay, in computer terminology is 1 megabyte, okay, or 1 MB for short. And approximately it is 1 million byte. Okay, the exact number is this one. Okay, I just wait. It's 1048756, but we can just approximately call it 1 million. Okay, so 2 to the power of 20 is 1 million byte. Okay, and 2 to the power of 30 is 1 gigabyte. So this is 1 billion. Okay, in Chinese is 10 亿. Okay, pretty big number. Okay, but in today, when you go buy a laptop computer, the shop will tell you, okay, this model got 16 gigabyte. Okay, 16 gigabyte, 16 G. Okay, memory. Okay, what is 16 G? In fact, in Chinese is 1. Okay, 116 亿. Okay, 160亿个 byte. So it's pretty large, pretty huge number of memory space. And so in today's programming, we can worry less about the memory we use. When I first learned programming, we have to consider the usage of memory. When we write a program, we should consider how many memory we're going to use. If we declare too many variables or too many so-called array, and take up too much memory space, the program may not be able to execute because we have insufficient memory to hold so many variables. So when I first use computer, I met a lot of error called insufficient memory. But today, when you write a program, it's kind of rare you run into an error called insufficient memory. Because today, you got a lot of memory space thanks to the development of the semiconductor technology. Okay? Now, 2 to the power of 40, we call it 1 terabyte. Okay? 1 TB. And how much is this guy? I don't know how to pronounce this guy in English. Maybe 1 tera. Okay? 1 tera, which is huge. So when you go buy a laptop, and the shop owner told you that your laptop, this model got 1 T of hard disk. Okay, 1 T of hard disk, which means you have so many disk space to save your file, okay? Say your paper. Okay, so it's a very big storage space. So again, today we have a research topic called big data. The reason is that today we are able to save a lot of information in our computer system. And we can analyze this huge number of data and make our conclusion to help a businessman or to help politic or help candidate to make their decision. Okay, now what is address? An address, each cell got an address. Okay, and this address is a unique name for a memory cell. I have to emphasize the unique name. Okay, say your home is 中正路. Okay, 5号. Okay, so maybe 台北市. I don't know. 台北市中正路5号. Okay, so in 台北市, there's only one 中正路5号. Okay, it's a unique name. Okay, there's only one house or only one location. It's called 中正路5号. So it's a unique name to represent a memory location. To represent a cells, okay? To represent a cells. So address, just like our home, okay? It put a name or a number of a memory location. So it's similar to identify house in the city by address. Okay, so in memory address, it is just like a housing address. Okay, what is 4 megabyte? Okay, 4 megabyte is exact number is 4192304. Okay, and the 4 megabyte memory can be addressed by 0, 1, 2, and so on until what? Until 4192303. Why is 3 here? Why is 4 here? Why this guy is bigger than this guy by 1? It's because this sequence of address is starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3 until this number will have this many of byte. Okay? Just like, say you have 10, 10 cells, and this 10 cell, you put the address for this 10 cell is 0, 1, 2, 3, dot, 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 until what? Until 9. Okay? So 0 to 9, we have 10 cells. Okay? So this 10 cell, the first one, we call it address is 0. The second one, the address is 1. The third one, the address is 2. Okay? Now you can conceptually imagine the memory space is something like this figure. Now this is cell 0. And in cell 0, we contain 8-bit. And what's the value for this 8-bit is depends on your application. Okay? And this location may not be initialized. Okay? And the value will be undefined. And then it may be just the memory, the state of previous variable that utilize this location. Okay? Now, the cells 1 also contain 8-bit. Cells 2 contain 8-bit. And dot, 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 dot. Okay? Now, if I told you, go get the value of cells 4, then you can immediately identify the location of cells 4. And then the value you can immediately retrieve from your program. Now, you issue another command. Say this 1 byte of value, say 0101, 01 or 1100. Okay, this is 8-bit. This 8-bit value, please put into the cells 8. So you find cells 8, and this sequence of 8-bit value will be saved in this location. Okay, so in RAM, which is primarily management by its address. By using address, you can know where to save your data and where to get your data. Just like your contact, okay, in your cell phone. Then you just try to find your friend's phone number, and from there you can find from the contact you can find your friend's phone number by looking at the content of your cell phone. Okay, so this is an important concept that you should have. Now, the memory, we can do read operation and the write operation. What's read? Just retrieve the information from the memory location. What's write? Just put in a new value to the memory location. It's similar to a mailbox at a post office. However, there are two differences. A mailbox has a well-defined capacity. This mailbox is this big, this thick, and some parcel or some package or some box is too big to fit into the mailbox, and so we are not able to do anything with it. And when the material is extracted from the mailbox, the mailbox becomes empty. Okay? But in memory, okay, in computer's memory, you read data from certain location, say cell 6, you just get this byte of information, this byte of value out of this cell 6. After you get the value remain in cell 6. Okay, remain. Okay. Unlike the mailbox, after you retrieve the letter and the mailbox is empty, the letter is is gone. But in memory space, in memory location, after you read, okay, the value is remain at the location. Okay. Now, one of the most important thing about memory cell is that a memory cell can be referenced, can be accessed, which implies you can retrieve the data. You can modify, which means you can write new value to a cells. And this kind of operation is individually. Okay? If we modify cells 4, we change the value in cells 4, it will not affect other cells. Only cells 4 will be changed. Okay, now a cells, we call a cells is 8-bit memory. And the first bit on the left, we call it high order n bit. The most right, we call it low order n. And the left bit, the most left bit, okay, on the left end of this bit sequence, we call it most significant bit. And the first from the right bit, we call it least significant bit. Okay? Now, we're going to introduce so-called hexadecimal notation. What is hexadecimal? What is decimal notation? Decimal notation. Decimal notation is a notation we use every day. It's 十进位. Okay, hexadecimal. Okay, hexadecimal is 16进位. Now, in decimal notation, you use 10 symbol or 10 digit, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until 9. We have 10 digit. Hexadecimal notation, we also have a 1, 0, 1, 2, until 9. And we got only this 10 digit is the same as decimal notation. But in hexadecimal notation, we have A, B, maybe we should call it A as 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, D is 13. Okay? E is 14. Okay? And the F is 15. Okay? So we have additional 6 digit. And we use A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay? Now, in order to represent the hexadecimal notation. Okay? This 16 digit or this 16 symbol from 0 to F, totally we have a 16. Okay, now a bit which can be 0 or 1. We have two states. a bit, we have a 0 and 1. We have a 2 state. If we're using 2 bit, we have a 4 state. Okay. Now if we're using 3 bit, which can be 0 or 1. We have 2 state, and we multiply 2. So we become what? We have a state. Now if we're using 4 bit, the first bit can be 0 or 1. So we multiply by 2 again. So we become 16 state. Okay? Now, so in order to represent this 16 symbol, we require 4 bit, okay, to represent 16 symbol, or we can call 16 different bit pattern. Okay, let's take a 10-minute break now.